What's up, guys? Cody here with the second episode of Anima Talks, an ethereal podcast focused on discussing ethereal news and information as it pertains to gameplay, as well as discussing various MOBA concepts, systems, and ideas and how they relate to ethereal. And as always, I'm joined by my good friend ReppedoutTv. Yeah. So, last Friday, we got the Arawn reveal. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Arawn,
Arawn.
Arawn,
Arawn. I don't know. It's
yeah.
something.
Um, yeah, and there is a lot going on with him. Like, he's got an immolate passive, killing things gives him permanent health. He's got fire punches. He can grab people. He can throw people. He can lob fireballs, and he can double his size. Like, I mean, before the reveal, I was excited just because like he was gonna be this AP melee bruiser, and I was excited to see where that was gonna go. And they said he was a disruptor, and I was like, "Ooh, what are we gonna be able to do with that?" And then after I saw everything, I was like, "God damn, I'm just so excited to get my hands on him now."
Yeah, honestly, he seems annoying. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like anybody playing a carry, like good luck, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
this dude just dashes, grabs you, kills you. Good job,
Yeah.
nice, sick outplay.
I can't. I
No, he
can't.
looked he looked really fun.
Yeah, I can't wait for all the highlight reels of people just throwing people off cliffs and whatnot.
Oh my.
That's gonna be so
So
funny.
that counts as a death, right? Like if you throw somebody off the cliff, like I would assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not throwing off a Sky Slayer, I'm assuming, or
Yeah,
somebody that has some type of way to fly.
yeah.
So it
Oh
would
yeah.
it
Oh
it'll
man.
count as a death. And then I can't. I also can't wait for when you have those Arons that run straight at the edge because somebody's standing there and the person just steps the side steps and they vault right over.
Launch.
It's gonna be so
Um.
funny. I'm gonna love seeing those highlight clips. So um yeah, what did you think of him outside of like?
I literally just think he's like my biggest question mark is like how fast will a jungle clear be, or
Hmm.
like how tanky will the jungle minions be? Because like if the jungle minions are not like super hard to take, right, or if they're even like Dota 2 esque or Dota esque, where you could like just clear a ton of and you could just keep pulling it and keep pulling it and then clear it, like he's gonna be broken. Like
Hmm.
his passive is so good.
It also depends how what the downtime is on the camps as
Mhm.
well. Because since
Yeah,
there's
and
so many, like, it, who knows how that's gonna play out.
yeah, like and then realistically, like kind of what the if we'll have time to even counter jungle, which I would assume that they would add. Like I feel like if and his kit seems good.
Hmm.
Like he doesn't seem weak,
Oh yeah, he
right?
seems
Like
really good.
even like early on, so I think he'll be able to duel, he'll be able to farm, he'll be able to do everything.
I think just hitting that level 3 and having the fact that your abilities increase all your damages, or you know what I mean, like it augments all of your other abilities. When you hit one ability, everything gets augmented, whatnot. I think that's gonna just make him really strong. You just hit level 3, and or I guess you do you put points in the special ability as well? If so, then level 4. Then I guess I don't know. I don't know how that
I
works.
actually don't. I don't know how that works. I would assume that your special ability, or kind of what I've perceived, your special ability, like you just have,
Yeah, I don't know. I can't
like
remember what they've
you.
said about it. So that
Well,
yeah,
we'll just say
whatever.
level 4 then.
Yeah, level
Whatever, level
4.
4.
Level
But
4.
then again, like how many camps will that take? Like
Hmm.
how will his initial clear? Because like as a jungler, right? Like your initial clear really matters, right? So
Hmm.
it depends. Like and will there be shared experience on camps or like
Yeah.
I haven't. So that's the thing, like right? Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
I feel like his kit is perfect for jungle. It will just depend on like how well he can clear it originally, right?
Yeah. I don't see him being much outside of jungle either. Like obviously you can play him in lane, but his
I don't know why you would.
yeah, it's like I mean like you can wave clear with the punches, I guess, but it's like I don't know. It's kind of like playing the worst version of like Garen almost or Darius. Like imagine playing those champions but without ghosts. Like Darius without ghosts or Flash. What does he do? This
Anyway, what if in the weird world you build him full magic damage, and then you go with the support, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like dual lane. I don't know, like
Oh, that'd be really funny killing. That'd be really just Arawn Talos. Arawn Talos duo lane. Arawn's grabs him, throws him backwards. Talos double stuns, and bam, easy
dead.
game. All you gotta
Literally
do.
just easy clap.
All you gotta
Oh
do. That's
no,
well. Now we gotta do it. Now we gotta do it.
just send it. I mean, I'm down. Nah, I realistically like viability. He's just a jungler, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, unless something changes with this kid, but
People were like, oh, maybe he can go support. I'm like, no, no, he's not gonna be support. Yeah, you can, but it's
yeah.
like there's
I mean,
like if I'm playing him as support, then my other options must be god awful. You know.
yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? It's like just you're literally like just lessening his overall potential with taking him support. Like, what are you gonna do? Take
Exactly.
CS? Like, if you take CS and just like just I'm just gonna you should jump off the edge. You don't even have to throw me off. Like, whatever. No. So jungle, like, hopefully double jungle's thing, but I think jungle is like
Mhm.
where he needs to be, honestly.
Yeah, and then we kind of touched on it for the items, like mostly Bruiser is what I'm leaning towards. Again, like the items seem so geared towards Bruisers. Like when they first released them, I was like, it seems like a very Bruiser heavy game we're about to have, and my suspicions are coming true.
Yeah, the daughter's in the background hiding.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Um, but yeah, my suspicions are coming true with the whole game's gonna be very bruiser heavy, and even Malaya, you can build her more bruiser oriented, and I think
Mhm.
that's a better way of playing her in general. Um, so yeah,
It
it's
just,
interesting.
it just seems like every item is bruiser-esque. Like all the bruiser items are super strong.
Mm-hmm. And
And then
there's not really a whole lot of items that are feel like they're just for tanks. Like I mean, like there's tank
Mhm.
items, but I don't feel like outside of like the jungle item, I don't feel like there's anything that says like this is a tank item. Like this is what you're gonna. This is like first buy tank item. You know.
Yeah.
So because in League, even before like we had mythics, it was always like you're gonna get Sunfire. You're gonna get the some people would go. I don't even remember at this point. It's
Like some people would go like Thornmail randomly, or like even back in the day, like Warmogs was OP, or like back in the day, like Force of Nature, stuff like that.
yeah. So
I,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
yeah, like there are a couple like like the Harvey's series, but like for a first item, you would never build that. Like,
I don't even
eh,
then. Like we talked about those in the past. It's like those items are so trash. Unless
yeah,
resistances are just done really OP, where every for resistances just give you so much.
it's OP.
Yeah, like it like because we see like 60 armor, 60 magic as this. I think to League of Legends, I'm like, okay, well like that yeah, that's a lot, but then if I don't have any health attached to that, then it's pretty
Like, what
useless.
does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So depending upon like the math with that, that'll change my mind. But yeah, so like thoughts on Bruiser Arawn versus just full tank.
Oh man, I mean, I feel you could argue both sides, right? Because like, hmm,
Or
I know like I want to say like Ring of the Void, right? Like I know we don't know if it'll proc, but like if that'll proc, right?
mm-hmm.
Like off of his Infernal Aura or whatever. Like I feel like there's a
Yeah,
huge upside to just playing tank or run with like
with that as a
Ring of Void.
yeah, I
Because like
can see
you're literally
that.
doing 7%, and then if your Infernal Aura procs it, it just continuously procs it because it literally will proc every time it
Mm-hmm.
hits, right? So it's like you're doing 7% of somebody's HP, and you're
Constantly.
unkillable. And you're unkillable, right? So it's like if that's the case, I would just say like Ring of Void is a staple, and then just go complete tank. Like
Hmm.
Try not die, right? Like that doesn't matter what any of your other abilities do, which will kind of make him like meh, like other than like your disruption abilities,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
uh,
You pair that with like items like disruptive shield and just any health extension items,
mhm.
and you just like I think disruptive shield. Just the more and more I look at these people, I'm like, God damn, disruptive shield seems so good. I so undervalued this item when it came out. Like,
I mean,
oh,
we'll see, man.
I don't know. It looks good.
I mean, it looks
Um,
good, right? And then when you pair it with other things as well, it's like the base stats are really good, and then as well, like the like reflecting or whatever the 30% of the damage, like it's just really
yeah,
good,
I need to
or
turn
however
off the
dividing or whatever.
AC real fast because it's gonna pick up. But yeah, it's
This is when we need like a music segment, like
got the
oh.
thermostat right outside my room, so I don't gotta go far. Um, but yeah, I lost my train of thought.
I mean, I would even say like Mage Slayer Cloak is good.
Oh yeah, Mage Slayer Cloak is
I,
just. I mean, it's the once it's Berserker Shield's counterpart. So in Berserker Shield's broken. Mage Slayer's Cloak I don't think is as broken as what Berserker Shield is. Because Berserker Shield gives health regen,
yeah,
but
that's
Mage
good.
Slayer's Cloak just gives more raw stats in general. And
Yeah,
the other issue I have with it is that it doesn't give armor, which I feel like is a more valuable stat early on in the game. Um, so like you probably have to augment that with defensive boots.
I mean, so question: do you think within this game, from everything we've seen so far, magic damage type will be more prevalent than physical damage type? Like as far as like potential raw
We
output.
have well out of the seven, uh, Malaya, Dante, Talos are all physical primarily. Then Leia, I think, is supposed to be magic. So I think
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be slightly more yeah yeah there's going to
They'll
be
be
slightly
four,
more
right?
magic damage than physical damage.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. It's like potentially magic
I'm
resist
just
might
well
be
I
better.
think Mage Slayer's Cloak is still good. I think it just means that you're going to have to end up getting boots,
Yeah,
defensive boots.
the iron plated boots or whatever they're
Yeah,
called.
iron boots or reinforced boots or
Hmm.
yeah, I think boots' armor shoes are magic resist. Um, yeah, I'm like going down that same line. I don't know how you feel about Dragon's Heart on Arawn, but like it has the same line of stats. It, you know, it gives you health, it gives you damage, it gives you health regen. My only issue with it is the passive. The damage is okay. The damage is okay. It's like especially with like if you get a like Elemental Predator plus Mage Slayer's Cloak plus Dragon's Heart, that passive
Yeah.
is dealing 400 damage, which is that's like two three
Yep.
abilities potentially. Um,
Mhm.
but the issue is that it procs off of any combat.
Yep.
So it's like someone hits you. Well, if you're not fighting, sucks. You've lost that item. Can't use it in lane because combat with minions procs it. You can't. You
Yep.
have to wait 20 seconds after you clear a jungle camp for it to come back up before you gank somebody. It's just
I mean, so I guess like potential. So like because it's what like 3,100 gold or something like
the
that. Like
golds are whatever.
a little weird right now.
They better be changing the golds before alpha launches because some of the items I look at it and I'm like, there's no way this is valued at this much compared to this other item.
Yeah. I mean, like I think just the fact of like the 20-second out of combat is really what, and that it procs on any combat, right? So like maybe if they change it to like combat with enemy myths,
That's what I was hoping.
I, okay, like I think at that point it would be more appealing, right? Where
Yes,
it's like, yeah, even if you get poked by an enemy myth, like yeah, it sucks. But if it's like it procs off minions, it procs off jungle camps, it procs off myths, it's like, okay, so you're telling me at no point in the game I'm gonna be using this for
exactly.
like something that is really tangible. Like
Hmm.
I would pass, especially if they don't change the gold prices. Like I would just go somewhere else.
And
You
like we
know?
don't know how much 3100 gold is because it's not like 3100 gold in League of Legends is a lot of money. That's like your top tier item pretty much.
Yeah.
But 3100 gold in this, it's like 3100 gold plus the fact that your like boots are 1800 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which
So
in League boots are like 1200, and you're also getting 7 items total if you count boots as an actual item. So I think overall we might end up having like more gold in comparison
then
to
what we think.
something like League of Legends. Um, outside of that, I mean that's like the main bruiser items.
Yeah.
So there are
I mean,
and like you mentioned Ring of the Void, but I want to mention my build. Okay, boys and girls, for all of you that don't know, Magic Moonwand is I think it's an item that's intended for like a mage that can lock down somebody, I think. Like essentially like if I Lux Q
yeah.
somebody, they're stuck in the zone and they're taking damage from
Yeah.
Magic Moonwand's passive. However, we can use this item with Arawn. Pair this item with, Ring of the Void, pair this item with Dragon's Heart. All you gotta do is just grab them and get them stuck in the Magic Moonwand passive, and watch as they just lose 1,000+ health from Magic Moonwand and Dragon's Heart alone. No other damage is in that combo. Just Magic Moonwand and Dragon's Heart will deal 1,000 damage if you can keep them stuck in there for the 5 seconds. That's broken.
I mean,
It's hilarious. Probably not good because then you're full mage at this point.
yeah,
But
but it'd be fun.
it'd be fun.
Could you imagine just like dashing, grabbing somebody like and like just impending doom somebody and then just throw them into the ground and they're dead.
Yeah.
Like by the time they hit the ground they're just dead. It's like okay, nice, nice,
Yeah,
sick.
I feel like I feel like it's just a toxic build that
Yeah, it'll be something you run in pubs.
yeah.
Just go and
Well,
have fun, normal.
it's like running like AP Blitzcrank. Like I
Yeah,
pull the carry and I one shot them. you
and then you're
know.
useless.
Yeah.
Then you're absolutely useless.
So
No, I think it'll be fun. I don't know how. I don't
I don't
the
think it'll be bad.
competitiveness,
Yeah.
but it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Any other items you want to
what?
mention?
No, I think that pretty much covers it, man. Just build kind of AP-esque, maybe in like the first item, and then go just I would say bruiser slash tank, right?
I guess we should mention Fool's Curse and why it's bad.
I think that item is just completely trash. I'm just not a fan. I'll let you go. I'm just not a
Yeah,
fan of
yeah.
it
Okay,
at
so the reason why
all.
we're mentioning Fool's Curse is because Fool's Curse has a Kog'Maw-like passive attached to it, where when you die, you will be able to run around for 5 seconds and you'll explode and deal a percentage of your maximum health as damage. Which, for Arawn, seems like, oh, this is like an item. This is like a really good item for him. Arawn already has infinite health, technically, and whatnot. So this seems like a really great item. Fool's Curse is just a god awful item. If you die too early with Fool's Curse, you leave your team in a 5v6 and all you've done is like maybe 500 damage to one person. For it to deal massive amounts of damage, you have to have so much health. And at that point, like, you're not even dying if you've got that much health where the item's doing 1,000+ damage. And then, if you die too late with the item, then either the fight's already over, the fight's already over, your team's already dead, or your team's already won the fight, and either way, passive is useless. So, it's just like, why get this item instead of any other item in the game?
And even like the actual stats, like obviously these might change, but like 600 health, 30 armor, 15% persistence is like
Yeah. We can compare
okay.
it to Gauntlet of Fear, which is essentially just the better version of it.
It's like okay, cool. And that's the thing. Like if I just see somebody with Fool's Curse, I just don't kill them
Yeah.
until
Till the
later
end.
on in the fight. Like why? Like oh, I'm just gonna attack this dude so he can no, like you just okay, good
They
luck,
have
kid.
to be an actual threat. Or
Yes.
else it's just like, cool, goodbye.
Cool,
And
man. Thanks for
yeah.
wasting a full item. Good job. Proud of you.
Yeah. I think
No.
I think that more or less covers the items though. Then,
Yeah,
um,
what do you think about the Berserker? Like, I know we've kind of went over it, but
yeah, it's something that like is pretty heavily jungle orientated. I feel like there are a couple of things I would like to see like a couple things I would like to see if I could do with the Berserker class as a jungler, and that's do early invades to knock down trees and stuff to block people's routes so they have inefficient pathing.
okay, yeah, yeah. And helps with like like jungle tracking, right? So like
Yeah.
you're like, okay, like I know he's going to be on X side or like X,
Hmm.
level or whatever. Uh,
That's like something I like. That's what's like. Obviously, people have always already talked about like, oh, you can knock down this, and you can stop the enemies from chasing you, or you can open up a path to like get behind somebody to do a really cool gank, whatnot. Like, yeah, those things are all great and whatnot. But like, I'm just thinking of like other things that people haven't thought of with the class that might be actually interesting and viable. Like not like if you knock down a path early on that is like a popular path for junglers to take, all of a sudden they've lost 10-15 seconds. And that 10-15 seconds makes a big difference between like you getting to the buff first or you just straight up taking the buff.
Yeah. Well, and like not even thinking like super crazy. Like a lot of people on solo queue or whatever, like they'll just practice one path. They're just like, yep, this is my path. This is my bread and butter. Then if you block it, they're like, oh, interesting. Like
They're
what are
just
you like? Oh,
lost. So many
yeah,
times I've seen junglers that like they do their path and it gets interrupted and they're just like going back and forth in like in the back of mid lane. They're just like, I want to go up here, but I can't go into the top side of my jungle, but I got nothing on the bottom side of the jungle. I don't know what to do, you know. And
press
I'm
the B button.
yeah, they're just lost. They're so
So I think that'd be interesting. I actually haven't did not even think about like. So I wonder if there will be like a time frame or like a time like when it's available or like whatever, or if you'll be able to use it like right when the game starts, right?
I would imagine you would, which is why I feel like it's even more viable to get that cooldown started early because unless it's like a 10-minute cooldown, you're gonna which is not going to be obviously. You can go, you can use the ability, and then by the time you want to gank, it'll be back up. You'll do your first clue and it'll be back up. So
Hmm.
I just
I
thought it
mean, we'll
was
see.
interesting.
No, no, I think that's like a really good point. Honestly, that's smart. Big brain,
Yeah,
200 IQ.
that's me. That's all I'm gonna be doing is thinking about how I can break their systems pretty much and
I mean,
abuse
hey,
everything that they give us. Speaking
it'll
of
make the
breaking
game better.
systems and abusing everything, Double Jungle! It's time we talk about this.
Oh god.
Obviously, the jungle's so massive, the map itself is so huge. It contains, there's going to be 38 camps, there's going to be 5 different buffs among those camps, assuming that hasn't changed. You've got the 2 wyverns, and then the trope is down in the mid lane. So, everyone's thinking right now, double jungle might be a legitimate thing that's going to happen, just because where else are we going to put 6 people? Right?
Yeah.
So, what's exactly your thoughts towards this? Because while I do think it will probably be meta, and while I'll have a lot of fun min maxing the idea and
Mhm.
creating like unique jungle paths for 2 different junglers, and being able to coordinate ganks. What this guy's coming from the left lane, this guy's coming from the right lane, plus the supports coming in. That's really fun to think about, but I am worried about how the idea of a double jungle is going to play out in both the short and the long term. I was wondering what your thoughts were.
I mean, it's like we've seen like problems with double jungle before,
This,
so that's why I'm very hesitant. But like, I feel like with like the how vast the map is and like how many camps there are, I honestly like it because I feel like it's gonna increase the tempo of the game, right?
hmm,
Whereas like the map is so large, right? If you only have one jungler, it's like how much can that one jungler really impact the game? Like across the map, right?
yeah,
So I know we keep going back to like League of Legends, right? We're like where a jungler in League of Legends can impact the entire map if their pathing is good, right? Or like if you're going through, 18 camps, like how much will you be able to impact the game versus how much will you have to like stop your clear to impact.
Right. And so if that's split up, like if that's split up to just 9 camps, which like if we're comparing to League of Legends has 6 camps to hit 5. Obviously, that's not the same. But if we just assume like 3 camps in Ethros, 1 camp in League of Legends, that's level 3 right there.
Yeah. I mean, and if it is like 9-9, right, rather than like the 36 total, then I think we get into like, double carry, like one in the top lane,
Yeah, which is
one in the top.
which is I think there's just a lot of problems that arise from the jungle itself. Obviously, like we could go on about like the jungle item in itself as to why that might be an issue. Because League of Legends has had that issue before of jungle items being taken by laners. That was
Yeah, that's a big.
nonsense.
I mean,
Um,
I like it though because nobody has the answer.
mhm.
Like every other MOBA, right? It's like, yeah, we just stick 2 in bot lane, we stick 1 in middle, and then we stick 1 in top, and there's a jungler. That's the meta. And this game is like, what's the meta? Like what? And so everybody's trying to like form it. I think it's amazing. It's
Yeah,
really
it's gonna be a
fresh.
lot of fun. And like I said, I think it's gonna be fun to and for like double jungle to decide like I think there is decision making involved in like, oh, if we put both our junglers on one side of the map, we're gonna have a lot of pressure there, but then the enemies get all the other sides of the map.
Mhm.
That's a whole that's essentially half your jungle gone. And you're
Yeah.
sharing it with 2 people. So it's a
Well, and then
yeah.
that's the thing is like, is the experience shared? Is it is it not shared within the jungle? Like,
If it's
you know,
shared, then I think well, if it's shared, then it's the question of like I think if it's shared, it'd still be inefficient to have both your junglers in the same spot because of just like timings for like how long it would take to move to the next. I
think
think it would
so?
just be
Hmm.
faster just to have 2 separate junglers on opposite end efficiency sake.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like at that point, then like, what about like splitting the map and stuff like that? Because let's just say you want to play strong side, bot side, right? Like, how do you split them out?
Yeah, I don't
You know what I
know.
mean?
I
Like,
it depends on how fast the camps come up because if the camps come up at a rate where like you can clear and then you and the other jungler can actually go somewhere, then that's great. Otherwise, though, if you just split the map in half, then it's just you and the other jungler just show up mid lane because
yeah.
that's where you end. So I don't know.
So yeah, I
Um,
mean,
yeah, I think yeah, I want to know how like effective funneling is gonna end up being because I feel like that's gonna happen. Because what's to stop me from having the mid lane from having one jungler that goes around normally, but then the second guy that would be jungling instead is just sitting mid, taking
mhm,
taking everything mid, going into the jungle. Like you don't even need the jungle item at that point. The jungle item, like the
yeah,
jungle item in League of Legends, to prevent this from being a thing, they've done several different things, and they've made it so that like you have to take smite to get the jungle item. The jungle item is the only way to get extra experience, and they've made it so that you get less money from minions before the 14-minute mark. In this, there's nothing that says you need the mark items to get extra XP.
yeah.
It's just you just take the camps faster with it. So
So it's like you just sit mid, go to the clearest camp. Like, just
yeah,
I hope funneling is not a thing. I hope
it's gonna end
they
up.
need
It's going
they
to
need to
end
do
up being a
something about it.
thing. I 100% guarantee you. They do not change it. It will end up being a thing.
Yeah, I'm aware. I just no, they won't let it happen. I believe.
I mean, it might get so bad where you literally have every lane funneling. You have 3 supports,
Oh,
and like you push the wave out, and you go take the jungle camps. You push the wave out, go take the jungle camps. It might get that bad.
oh gosh, no, they won't let it happen. Please, I'd be so sad, dude.
Well,
Oh
the
my
thing is,
god.
it won't be an issue for a long time, or at least it won't be an issue until we start seeing like actual people like me come in and sit there with an actual team of 6
Yeah.
players and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna try out because we're gonna break the system to try to get our advantage for our next week's game in our league or whatever. Like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it'll be into like not until that competitive level, right? Because
mhm,
like in a match or like whatever they're
not gonna
whatever
happen.
they're gonna do, that's not gonna happen. Like nobody's gonna be like, yeah, sure, you can come steal my lane. Come on in, buddy. Like,
Yeah,
you should get flamed.
it'd have to be a duo, and it'd have to like it still would have to be very well rehearsed.
Yeah. Well, even Orcus, like especially if it's double jungle, like because you would assume that your duo would be mid lane, right? Or like
Yeah, like if you're funneling, then yeah, your duo would
yeah.
be mid.
So you'd have to tell your second jungle like, hey, go do all of these things while I do this.
Yeah,
So
essentially, I think essentially it would be like, or I mean, technically you could shift it over. I think the mid lane's gonna have the most camps out of the two sides, out of all the three lanes. I think it looks the biggest, the widest. So I
mm,
think it has the most. Don't know that obviously, but
well, but that's the thing is like, what if playing devil's advocate, like what if there's only one jungler, right? But then like your mid lane just goes and takes the camps.
yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you remember back in the day with like Gragas or Zyra, like back on like season three,
I wasn't
they would
there.
literally just so they would just take the Wraiths or the Raptors or whatever you want to call it, right? They would just push out their wave. They would go to Raptors. They would clear Raptors. Then they would go back to lane, push wave. Then they would take Wolves. It's like maybe it'll be that esque. Like
I mean, there's gonna be so many camps. I think it's gonna be fine if the mid laner like takes one or two. You
Mhm.
know, and I think that goes for every laner, especially if you're in a bad matchup. It's just easier to just to go take other camps
Yep.
and
Just stack what you can so you don't die or whatever. Like just cool.
I think the only
That's
other
interesting.
issue I have with Double Jungle is the same thing I like about it, and that's the fact that there's gonna be games where there's gonna be two junglers and a support ganking your lane, and you're in a 4v1 situation. Have fun, like,
Yeah.
and
Just have fun out playing.
yeah, and I think at the higher echelons of the game, it might end if that ends up being like a very common occurrence, then I think the fact that there are this many moving pieces on the map will end up creating less fights, less action going on because people are going to be too scared to walk up and make a 1v1 play because it's like if I make this play and
Three
there's
people
three
can come
people
out of nowhere.
waiting, I'm dead.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
mean,
that's the only issue.
yeah. I mean, and that might be really detrimental, right? Because like nobody's gonna want to watch an esport or a sport or like a game, right? Where it's like passive for the first 25 minutes,
I
right?
mean, that's LCK.
I mean,
Like
fair,
literally,
fair.
they don't even put up the whole games anymore for LCK. They don't. They
Yeah.
just put up highlights because there's that little action going on.
Yeah. Why would like? I mean, hey, they're playing calculated League of Legends. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, yeah,
Like,
I like watching LCK a lot, but I'm just saying, like that is something. But that we're not even
might be a
that's
problem.
years off of ever
Hmm.
happening. Years
Yeah.
off.
First the game's got to come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Whenever that happens. Um yeah, I think that's it for that. We got Marina coming out this Friday. I'm kind of not at all excited.
I mean, where do you think?
It's
If you had
just
to guess, like,
it's just gonna be Nami. It's just gonna be Nami.
it's actually, yeah.
She literally one of her abilities is called Ebb and Flow, which is Nami's W, and it's gonna do the exact same thing. So I mean, like I
I mean,
think
hey, there's your support.
I don't play enchanters. I can, and I
Be
have in the
prepared.
past, but enchanters are
Who
so
else?
bad.
Who else are you gonna play?
Exactly. I'm gonna
Who else are
wait
you
for
gonna play?
Leia to come out and play Leia, and everyone's like, "Oh, but Leia's a Sky Slayer. Sky Slayers aren't useful as support." I'm like, "What do you mean Sky Slayers aren't useful as support? I can fly around and roam wherever I want to." And
I don't think.
she sounds a lot like Pantheon. So
I better not. I better not have freaking lead fly into my lane and just kill me. I'm about to be like, all right, whatever, bro. I'm done.
yeah, man.
Get me out.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I can't really form too much judgments on Marina, but
I I don't care for enchanters. He looks exactly like Nami. Like I don't care for Marina's personality. I don't care for her theming. I just don't care for anything aside from the fact that she's gonna be a cleric. That's the only thing I'm interested in is that, and we have next to no information on that either.
yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, what do you think about the cleric? Because I
I I think it's
I
gonna
don't know.
I think it's gonna give us it's gonna give people buffs similar to what the healing items in League of Legends do right now for what their passives do. I think, or at least I think I could see something like that. Like,
Okay.
when you heal somebody or shield somebody, you give them like essentially an ardent buff
Yeah.
or a moonstone
Yeah.
buff. I think that could be the case.
Okay. So like a specific Ethereum will give them just like a specific buff. Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be the case because right now there's nothing for like healing Amp, and there's only like Pandora's box or something, or Pandora's book for healing Amp. Um, Along with there's the support item that amps up your heal. But those are the only two things that are enchanter orientated. And Pandora's book, even then, is still like almost a mage item with just like an enchanter shell.
Yeah. Yeah. Given.
More stuff for
I mean,
next
plus
week.
yeah, plus 20%. It seems pretty good. I mean, yeah, like that's a big thing is like how will healing come into the game, right? With Marina coming up is like, is there going to be a whole lot of heal cut? Like, will heal cut be needed? Will
I
heal
think
cut be
so.
even? Will it be relevant? Like League of Legends, for example, right? Like some champions just heal so much that it's like, why am I gonna waste gold on a heal cut item? Like,
I think
doesn't do
I think a
anything.
lot of this is stuff for next week. I think
Yeah, no, I feel you. I'm
because
just,
we could
curious.
go on and on. I think about all this. So um yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it. That's covered everything. So thank you all for watching our second episode. God, honestly, I'm surprised the first one ever went through with how much issues I had with that one. But yeah. So thank you all for watching. Rep, where can they find you? Do you want to link?
Hmm. Find me on twitch.tv, ReppedoutTV, and then YouTube, ReppedoutTV.
And as for me, in addition to my Twitch, or in addition to my YouTube, I also stream over on Twitch. A link for both me and Rep stuff will be in the description below. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. We do these every week, and we don't want you to miss out on them. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.